Feck. The Ballon d'Or, won by being the best player in world football or for being Pavel Nedved. An esteemed award with a rich history that plays in the minds of young footballers across the world. And it's no surprise. Do you know what Ballon d'Or translates to? Sexy fucking ball.
Sexy penetration.
Or sang. I don't know. I actually don't know the full official. Once dominated by Lionel Messi's autismo and a man with his own Botox calendar. The Ballon d'Or is now a complete free-for-all these days, leading to one of the most surprising victors in recent years. Mostly because Fabrizio Romano didn't tweet out the results 6 business months before the ceremony. And it's got the whole world of football talking. Does the Ballon d'Or really matter in an era like this? Or are we right to be gassing it up? If it wasn't for the knee injury, it would have been me on that stage, bro. Which actually reminds me, where's the knee injury, bro? Maxwell's a scare. Yeah, lads, I know, complete shambles. So you guys will know at this point, I promised that at 750,000 subscribers, I would be releasing a real-life football video where I'd be testing out my knee. Now, there's been a lot of reasons why it hasn't happened. I've been fucking busy, like really busy over the last 2 months, I'm not gonna lie. That's not really a massive excuse. I've also had a chest infection. I'm gonna kill myself. In difficulty getting around and doing normal things, let alone going and playing football for a while. But it's not getting any better, so I'm just gonna have to firm it, do you know what I'm saying? And so with that in mind, once again, I'm asking you guys who you would like to see in the video. I will go and contact them and try and get them involved. If this video gets 7,000 likes, your favorite creator will be in that video. And at 800,000 subscribers, I'm getting Liverpool tattoo, and it won't take as long as this one has taken. Now, the Ballon d'Or, and there were question marks all over this one. Unlike recent years, we didn't find out who the Ballon d'Or winner was actually going to be before the ceremony started. I mean, when Karim Benzema won it, we already know he was going to be victorious. When Rodri won, Real Madrid didn't turn up because they knew Vinny Jr. had been snubbed. Either way, Lamine Yamal was one of the candidates, and he seemed unfazed. Sat in the crowd, chilling with his phone, and what's that? Bro's got the new iPhone 17 that's been out for like 6 minutes. Ousmane Dembele still got a Samsung Galaxy 2, bro. Give Yamal the award now. Bro's trying to aura farm his way to a Ballon d'Or win. And that's the thing, that's one thing I've noticed as well. There seems to be like campaigning going on. People are turning it into a popularity contest by going and doing cool things beforehand. I actually kind of rate it. It's like a presidency campaign, but with less racism and somehow more brain cells. And that says a lot, because Cole Palmer's involved, you know. Now, whilst the stars were turning up, we saw a Liverpool squad. Bukayo Saka was in the place, limping. Of course, Dembele, Yamal, Raphinha. Erling Haaland was otherwise engaged. In bed with Shrek or something? I don't know, bro. It seems a little bit risky to be doing photo shoots with Manchester United legends when you're a Manchester City player. We got guys lips in ogres instead of going to the ceremony, bro. Meanwhile, Real Madrid as an organization decided not to turn up because they've been wank for the last 12 months. Oh no, sorry, no, the reason actually is because Vinny Jr. didn't win it or something over a year ago. Oh, grow up, man. Someone teach him how to do a rainbow flick and then we'll invite him back again. Vinny, I'm sure, must have been a little bit shocked seeing where he'd ended up this year after going all out for the Ballon d'Or last campaign.
Easy top 3. If I'm not 60!
But no, your winner was not Vinny Jr. this time around. Instead, the top 2 were Lamine Yamal and Ousmane Dembele. And as chants for both of them erupted inside of the venue, this is why I need to stop inviting social media people, you know. Listen, Thiago, I've got you figured out, yeah? I know you were the one starting that. I'm joking. He's like probably the most civilized one out of the lot. Ronaldinho looked down at the piece of paper in front of him and couldn't believe his eyes. It was his real passport. Bro hasn't seen that in years, given the convictions that he got. And then he flipped over the page and he saw Ousmane Dembele.
Dembele.
The PSG forward took to the stage and claimed his first ever Ballon d'Or. It immediately felt like it was a Ballon d'Or for the culture. You had young footballers across France celebrating the results straight away. Restaurants in Paris were giving away free food to anyone that turned up in a Dembele PSG shirt. You even had Ousmane letting French supporters touch the Ballon d'Or. Bro, this is one of the coldest images I've ever seen in my life. The thing's going on a Ballon tour, bro. His mum said he's going to take it all around Africa through Senegal and across the entire continent. Do you understand how sick for the scene that is? And even more incredibly, this is a mental story for someone like Ousmane Dembele. This guy's never been nominated for a Ballon d'Or in his whole career up to this point. He's never made it into the top 50, and now he's gone and won it. In 2022, they were comparing this guy to Anthony. Guys, anything's possible. Don't give up on your dreams. This one in the Champions League has been sensational, right? He's been putting in clinics all season. Meanwhile, Lamine Yamal's been in the clinic this season. Lamine Yamal got told he was going to win the award. He brought his whole family with him, and then he found out the award was the Copper Trophy. Lamine's time will come, but this is such an incredible moment for Ousmane, who was left in tears when he went up on stage to take home the Ballon d'Or. His storyline is one of injury, of heartache, and having to play in Barcelona when they had 47 pence in their bank account. 140 million euros or something was the price that Barcelona paid to bring the Frenchman over from Borussia Dortmund. And at the time, whilst a little bit inflated, but it was during that era where everyone was spending like 130 mil on everybody. Felipe Coutinho and Griezmann, I'm looking at you. Ousmane Dembele was always one of the stars of future football, right? Even through his time at Rennes, he was getting interviewed about taking like set pieces with different feet because he was that ambidextrous with his feet. I don't think ambidextrous is just your hands. Either way, he was a star boy. Went to Borussia Dortmund, things didn't really work out as planned in terms of the way that he left. He went to Barcelona for massive money, and it just never worked out. He was constantly injured. The guy had hamstrings made out of baby bells. There was always talent there. He just couldn't get a run of games together and the confidence to be able to execute it. He's signed by PSG. Luis Enrique revolutionizes him and plays him as a striker, and suddenly the guy's going skits in the Champions League, you know, scoring goals in important games as well. He scored 8 goals and got 6 assists in the Champions League, as of course PSG raised the trophy for the first time in their history. He got 2 assists in the final against Inter, grabbed a goal against Liverpool, against Aston Villa, and against Arsenal, so in the round of 16 quarterfinals and the semi-finals, as well as then performing in the final too. He became a consistent bagsman, and obviously, you know, PSG dominate Liga. That's to be expected. He was incredible in Liga. He was incredible in the Cup. He won the treble, but the Champions League really was the cream on top of it. And the way that he performed in every single game, the consistency was absolutely there. Clearly, the torch was passed on from Cole Palmer.
What?
All I know is Marcus Rashford is going to be watching this redemption arc, knowing that he's going to be leaving here with something.
Put yourself in situations where you're not comfortable.
That's my favorite saying.
Ousmane even had his old team's admin, Barcelona's admin, tweeting out his success. That man took all your medical department funding, and now you're tweeting about him dunking on your own star boy at the Ballon d'Or. I just know Barca's admin was practically heaving as soon as the envelope was opened by one of their own former club legends. So as I said, of course, Ousmane Dembele, they're, in my opinion, definitely a valid contender at the very least for winning the Ballon d'Or, okay? Won the treble, was extremely influential in all 3 of those competitions. He was up against Lamine Yamal, but this is where a lot of people have questioned the validity and the results, really, of this. How can an only just turned 18-year-old Lamine Yamal with 9 league goals to his name be finishing second compared to someone like Mo Salah, for example? Genuinely had his best season in a Liverpool shirt in the Prem just now. We won the Premier League. Yes, of course, we didn't win the Champions League. And in fairness, Mo Salah was pretty quiet in both the games against PSG, but 2 games where he was quiet does not delete the rest of the year where he was absolutely incredible and instrumental to Liverpool winning another title. If you actually compare his stats to Ousmane Dembele across the season in terms of like actual individual brilliance, and in a league that is much harder than Ousmane Dembele playing in Ligue 1, his stats really reign supreme over the Frenchman. All I know is Darwin Núñez is about to do a Richarlison and try and put a curse on the entire nation of France, only to miss probably and put a curse on Switzerland instead. Cole Palmer features in this top 10 despite having more carnival appearances this year than goals from open play. Let's be honest, Cole opened up the invitation to this ceremony and it started with bonjour, and he had no idea what was going on. This man finished in 8th, Harry Kane finished in 13th. Sir Harold Elijah Kane got 53 goal contributions this season and actually won something. He won the Bundesliga, yeah. He's got 2 trophies to his name now. This brother must have been confused, realizing he'd actually won some silverware for once and somehow finished lower than he did before. Whilst they're not completely comparable, Cole Palmer and Harry Kane, they're completely different players. They play different positions. Like, I just feel like even though Harry Kane plays in the Bundesliga, Cole Palmer's thinking of a different Bunda, bro. I just don't think he should have been in the top 10. If you're thinking about Cole Palmer's 23-24 season from a personal perspective, maybe yes. But 24-25, bro was just pissing me off in my fantasy football team. All fantasy football forfeits aside, the reality is that Cole Palmer's ended up in the top 10 here because Chelsea won the Club World Cup. And that to me is silly. Whilst, yes, it's a much bigger tournament now than the Club World Cup used to be, Chelsea will throw around the fact they're world, champions, and fairs, they are, ultimately, in the letter of the law. But that tournament can't be compared to the Champions League, bro. It's not a glorified set of friendlies quite, but you've not got teams going out and playing to the best of their ability. Half of them are fucking knackered after the season they've just had. It's nowhere near as difficult to win that as it is to win the Champions Champions League once you've actually got into the tournament and qualified for it. Cole Palmer wasn't even at Chelsea when Chelsea won the Champions League and basically confirmed their place in that tournament in the future. So whilst he was good in it, that shouldn't, completely wipe away the fact that the second half of his league season was really average. And then we look at Raphinha. How is this guy finishing 5th after the season he's just had?
The referee from Norway is the strongest.
Pound for pound, the guy's been better than Lamine Yamal for Barcelona over the last 12 months. He just doesn't have PR and a set of braces or a set of people that are small as well. Like, I know for a fact he doesn't have that, and Yamal does have that. Speaking of Brazilians, penny for Neymar's thoughts, bro. This guy was up against Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo from day one. Ousmane Dembele's opponents, an 18-year-old alcoholic and a kid from Manchester who was in Set 8 secondary school. Like, the whole secondary school was Set 8. And we've got an ex-Wolves player in Vitinha finishing 3rd. He's gone clear, bro. He doesn't need to think about the West Midlands ever again. If you're a Wolves supporter, you're in complete despair. You're bottom of the league and you're seeing this. I can't wait for Hwang Hee-chan to win the Ballon d'Or in 3 years from now. There's just so much going on, Pedri doesn't even make it into the top 10 after the season he's had for Barcelona. Imagine telling someone in 2023 that Scott McTominay would finish above Jude Bellingham and Erling Haaland in the rankings, and he'd actually deserve it. Kavicha Kvaratskhelia won Ligue 1, Serie A, the French Cup, the Champions League, the Georgian Premier Division, Wimbledon, and the above sea level water polo European Championships, and he didn't even crack top 10. And all of these questions coming together make you ask, does the Ballon d'Or even really matter? Is it just a glorified popularity contest? Is it more about the team that you play for rather than individual brilliance? As I said, Mo Salah and Raphinha probably pound for pound have had a better individual season, numbers wise, arguably fun to watch wise, maybe not necessarily with Salah. Dembele is fun to watch. But you know what I'm saying? Like, individually, for their clubs, in dragging their clubs to where they need to be, if that's technically arguably more important than winning something in a great team, you could argue that Salah and Raphinha are more deserving than Dembele. You could definitely argue someone like Pedri is a better footballer than Cole Palmer and has put in more consistent and better performances overall than Cole Palmer in the last year, in the last season even. Harry Kane the same. Lamine Yamal is going to win loads of Ballon d'Ors in his career, but second seemed a little bit over the top. I think top 4 would have been fine for him, but second place above Raphinha and Salah, I don't know, Chief. For what it's worth, I really do think Ousmane Dembele is a worthy winner. I'm not gonna lie to you, contrary to it being just about individualism. The only thing I find a little bit harsh with the Ballon d'Or, and the only reason why I think you should always take it with a pinch of salt, especially when it does come to like the actual rankings below who wins, is that less so that it's a popularity contest, it matters so much what you win. I don't mind someone like Ousmane Dembele winning off the back of winning the treble. Like, who can really fault him for that? It's not his fault. The rest of his team is really, really good as well. But when you look at the rest of like a top 10 and you see Cole Palmer there because of the fact that Chelsea won the Club World Cup, that is harsh on people like Pedri, on people like Harry Kane. Nuno Mendes finished behind Cole Palmer. Nuno Mendes has had a better season than Cole Palmer, just gone. Again, 23-24 Cole Palmer. It might seem like I'm picking on him. I'm not. Cole Palmer's an elite footballer as well, yeah, but the second half of last season was very decidedly average, apart from the Club World Cup, where he did actually perform. How much weight can be put into that competition when teams are taking it seriously, mostly to build up some fucking sharpness for the season to come and to take home a little bit more prize money? I do think that FIFA put just a bit too much weight into the stuff that you win. I think it should be complimentary. I think it should be a reason to push you a little bit further, but taking away from players because they haven't won stuff seems harsh, especially if their performances have still been incredible. That means they've been incredible in a team that's won less, that maybe isn't as good. There's a chance Mo Salah will never win the Ballon d'Or purely because Egypt aren't a very good footballing nation, like comparative to the rest of world football. The World Cup's next calendar year. If Egypt get grouped, he ain't winning it. It's just a fact of the matter. He could go win the Champions League and the Prem with Liverpool. He will not win the Ballon d'Or because someone who won the World Cup will win the Ballon d'Or instead. And that to me is where things become stupid. He can't help where he's born. There should just be more credibility taken into people's individual performances. But one thing I am going to say is I think on a wider spectrum, yeah, this should kind of get us excited still. Yes, the Ballon d'Or might not be the best way to actually prove that someone's the best footballer in the world right now. There might be a little bit too much weight into who wins certain things, yeah. But in the words of Rio Ferdinand, just sit back and enjoy it, man. As much as it was amazing to watch Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, and I will never forget the times where I sat down in awe at both of them, how fun is it to know that we don't fucking know who the best player of next year is gonna be? We're heading back to a glory days time, yeah, where anyone could just turn up and be sick. There's a massive group of the best players in the world, not just 2 or 3 dominating every year. Back in the late 90s, yeah, we had like Zinedine Zidane, Ronaldo, Rivaldo, Beckham, Shevchenko, Figo, Owen, Raul, Roberto Carlos, Thierry Henry, Maldini, Deco, Ronaldinho, Lampard, Gerrard, Buffon, Kaká, all of these guys in the top 3 of Ballon d'Or rankings over the space of like 8 years. Yes, you know, the world of football, we might look at it with rose-tinted glasses and say that these guys are better than what we have on offer now, and to an extent they are. As technical footballers, they probably are. But some of the guys that we've got at the moment are still fun to watch. Lamine Yamal is so fun to watch. Raphinha, Ousmane Dembele. I have fun watching Mo Salah. I don't care what anyone says. His touch is not going to be as good as other players. He is definitely more focused on efficiency, but when he is incredible, he is absolutely sensational. And that is fun, and that's something that we should be gassed over. We got a 5-year spell now where it's kind of anyone's game. Kylian Mbappe wasn't even in the conversation, bro. We've got him to come back and try and claim it. Erling Haaland, you know, there's names all over the place. They're going to be staking their claim on the Ballon d'Or, and it's a free-for-all again. My question to you is simple. Who do you think should have won the Ballon d'Or of 2025? Do you think Dembele deserved it? Should it have been Lamine Yamal? Maybe Salah? Maybe Raphinha? Maybe even Cole Palmer? Drop it down below in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, of course, feel free to slap a like on it. Subscribe if you are new. Really does help me out, so I would appreciate it. You can also follow me on social media. It is at @theofficialfng on Twitter and on Insta. It's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.